Hey, welcome to Get Active. This is just a quick demo of a full stack project I've been working on for a few weeks. Just for context, the basic idea of it is I wanted to be something kind of like what Shopify did for e-commerce. I wanted to do something similar for event management. So, posting events, ticket fulfillment, ticket scanning, attendee management, all that stuff. What Shopify did for e-commerce, I wanted to do for events. The idea being that anyone can just essentially get their own custom in-house Eventbrite at the push of a button with their own custom branding. It's localized to them, no one else's events on it. Anyone can have their own personal Eventbrite, or organization can have their own personal Eventbrite. So just a few things before we start going through the website. There's a high degree of interactivity, animations, buttons, etc. But I worked very hard with caching, lazy loading, edge rendering, and a number of other techniques so that it loads very fast and is accessible to people all over, regardless of your internet speed. So right here, I have the cache disabled. I have the network set to 3G. And we can see that it actually loads relatively quick, even without having the caching and with having a 3G connection. We can see that the entire page has loaded within 10 seconds, and you could also see the content, the DOM content was loaded within 5 seconds. This is in comparison to the average page load on 3G speed, which is almost 20 seconds, it's about 19.6, I believe. So it is very performant in comparison. It also has light mode and dark mode, and I think it looks reasonably nice with both. Fully touch interactive along with button interactions. If we were to jump out of development mode, it's a fully dynamic. We have authentication with OAuth 2. Currently I have Discord and Google as authentication providers. Let's just say we wanted to go through some events. As we can see here, there are currently 3 events. Just take note of this because we will be creating an event, and we can see it immediately render, and that's achieved through cache invalidation. Everything is cached to avoid repeated hits to the database, and for also much faster access to it through the edge. But the thing is, I want an event to show up immediately when it's created, and we do that through a cache invalidation endpoint. So let's just say we were to jump over to one of these event descriptions, or to one of these events. We would land on this page, and same thing, both very accessible from a mobile interface as well as a desktop. From mobile, the main way that you would get tickets is through this little ticket drawer here, and we can browse through the different tickets. And same thing, this is actually draggable, so this is very much like a native mobile touch experience. You also see the background being blurred. The goal here was to bring a native mobile-like experience to a web app. We were to expand it, that bottom drawer goes away. Instead, we have this side-scrolling accordion. We can view the location of the event through here. We get this really nice, very performant vector graphics or map, which is 3D with shading. Very, very beautiful. Big shout out to Mapbox. You can drag that around, and that animation will replay each time. And once again, all of this page load, all occurred with 3G and without caching. So just so we can see a quick reload. 5 seconds before it becomes interactive and the page load appears. And this is, once again, with a lot of animations, with a lot of interactivity. And this is also fully accessible. I'm currently using keyboard navigations to scroll through this list. Tabbing, once again, fully accessible. We can also hit Take Me There, and this will actually open up your device's native map application. I'm currently on my desktop, so this opens up my actual Maps desktop application. But if you are on iPhone, it would open up your iPhone app. If you're on an Android device, it would open up Google Maps. All right, now let's see what the actual ticket purchasing experience would be like. So I go to, oh yeah, and let's also have a quick look at it in light mode. We go to view tickets. Let's go with this one here. So go to get ticket. The payment processing is through Stripe with an embedded checkout form instead of a link, just for, once again, slightly better performance. And it has both Google Pay and Apple Pay integration. So we'll be brought to a landing form. Once again, this is still on disabled cache and fast 3G. And we immediately have the receipt. And if I were to go to my email, yep, there it is. There is the event ticket. This QR code has all of the information and encryption to verify the attendee, their payment status, what type of ticket they have, their name. It also has a link to the Stripe database, or to a database storing the Stripe transaction. All right. I'm just going to go back to where we were. All right, now I'm actually going to take off the throttling because we are going to be moving over to the dashboard. So we're going to do quickly just create an event together. We're going to call this, React Conf event headline. I'm actually going to leave this these blank here just so I can show you the form validation. I'm actually going to just going to show some form validation features. React conference, super cool. Check this out. This is a way too big title, so I want this to be clamped down. Let's say I decide to leave a bunch of stuff blank. And if I were to then go and submit, focus immediately changes, get brought up back up here with a actual useful error message telling me what I'm doing wrong. So I'm just going to call this React Conf. Leading edge React Conf tech. We can now set the date, start time. A private event, all this does is just hides the actual address, and the map will zoom into the general location rather than the actual address. The address here is autocomplete with a geocoding API, and it actually it not only gets the full address, but it also gets the longitude and latitude, which is what the map uses. So one of my favorite places in the world to work, one place, Ville Marie. And it will autofill the rest of the forms. Location, this is the location that would be shown on the card, so you can have complete control over what's being seen. And this is also what would be seen for the location if you selected a private event. Same thing, night mode, dark mode, light mode. Oh yeah, this bar kind of collapses here as well. Nice little animation that pushes everything to the side. And this was something that this rich text editor here was built on Prosmere. I originally wanted to do the content management through Sanity, but there was a lot of restrictions, especially on the free tier, that just wasn't acceptable. There's a number of things I wanted. Not only did I want Markdown style editing with these kind of like Notion-like keyboard commands and formatting. It was also really important that I wasn't locked into their ecosystem, and I wanted something that just render raw HTML. So this actually everything here will be rendered into HTML, stored in the database, sanitized, of course. The other thing is that Sanity they have very tight limitations on image embeddings, resizings, video embeddings, things like that. I didn't like the user experience for it, so I decided to build my own content management system. This is built on a mix of Cloudflare, an SQL database, a Solus event broker, and a few other things kind of gluing stuff together, but it uses cache invalidation, etc. Yeah, so a few of the kind of cool things here. We can put in a set of columns to format stuff, and then we can also do some composition. So inside of these, I can insert an image. and that will actually be put inside the column. And then we can even resize that image, which is pretty cool. And on this other side, I'm actually going to put in a video. Let's see, we actually have to put a URL. Didn't want to handle a video uploading. Yeah, here we go. Actually, you know what? Let's go to T3. It's my favorite stack. It's what I built it in. Get active. So we go here, video, throw that in, and then boom, we have an embedded video. This actually uses an iframe, and that is once again fully resizable. And well, we are right. This is just a bunch of stuff that it uses local storage to save your progress, but we can also highlight this stuff. We can change the font inline. We can change the color of the text, bold it, etc. Change the sizing. We can even highlight here, change this from a bulleted list and change it to a heading, for instance. And change that back to bulleted list. There we go. And yeah, once again, really nice editing experience with this kind of slash command. And resizable. Oh yeah, we can also drag these nodes around, which I think is pretty cool. Oh, and while you're doing all this, you actually have a live preview that's fully interactive, and you can see here the video is actually playing. It's a full live preview of what it would look like when it's actually rendered on a device. So as you're typing, you actually have this live preview. All right, so now we're going to create a few tickets. Now, when you do this ticket creation here, this will actually create a Stripe product and a price for each of these things. It'll be stored in your Stripe dashboard, and you'll have a reference to that in the database. So VIP. Let me go to 10 here. Nope, don't want it to be a free ticket. Stripe. And we'll say foods included. Submit, and then we can actually see what a quick preview of the ticket. Let's just add another one. Basic. And same thing, fully accessible. We can access all this through tabbing and keyboarding, or tabbing keyboard control. Cool stuff. Now, pay at the door, what this does is it creates an unfulfilled Stripe payment intent that is fulfilled when the user pays at the door. And that can either be through like POS tap or cash, at which point the person receiving the ticket would indicate on the companion that this person has paid, and that would fulfill the payment intent. And you know what? Yeah, sure, let's give them food as well. All right, and this one will be 5. Same thing, we submit. All right, so everything should be in order. We're going to go to submit event. We'll get a notification in a second.